Here are the Here are the faces you will see this evening. I am the Volunteer Programs Manager here with Activate Good, and I will let my fellow Activate Good folks introduce themselves briefly too.
Hey everyone, I'm Amber. I'm the Executive Director here at Activate Good.
Hello, I'm Natalie. I am the Operations Coordinator.
So Natalie will be working the magic behind the scenes here to make this
Yes,
possible.
that's why I'm like multiple screens.
So I'm just happy to be here with you all tonight. If you'll take it to the next slide there, Natalie. I'm fortunate to get to work with so many kind and like-minded and diverse folks across the Triangle. I've been lucky to work with Activate Good since 2013. So many of you here tonight, I recognize your names. I'm happy you're here with us, and I see a lot of new folks, which is also wonderful. So thanks for activating good with us. Next slide. And I will let Amber share about our wonderful organization that she created.
Thanks, Rose. Hi, everyone. Super excited to be here tonight. Thank you so much for joining us today. As I mentioned before, I'm Amber Smith. I'm the Executive Director and founder of Activate Good. And for those of you who are not familiar with us, we like to just give a quick overview of who we are, what we do, and why we're doing these expos to kick things off. So we do what we do because we envision that we can live in a world in which every person in our community both realizes and acts on their power to improve the community and the world around them. And that vision drives us to improve our community through what we call people-powered projects for good. Next slide. What we do is we partner with over 500 community partners around the Triangle, that is nonprofits in the area and some schools and local government agencies as well, to identify some of the biggest needs and gaps in our community where people's time and talents can make a big impact for those issues. Then we mobilize and recruit volunteers of all ages and skill sets and backgrounds to take on those needs and move the needle on these issues. And if you've been to an expo before, you've probably heard me joke that when we say all ages, we really do mean all ages. We have had volunteers as young as 3 years old before. We really believe that anyone at any age can make a difference in the world around them and in people's lives. And then the final thing that we do is we educate the community. We especially have done a lot more of this since last year, since COVID, because we can do a lot of it virtually. But the goal is to add learning and education components to the volunteer action. We want people to feel like they can be well informed about the issues that our community faces so that they can go out and lead positive change and serve and help others in a deeper, more sustainable and meaningful way. That's what we do. And now I will turn it back over to Rose to introduce our community partners who are here with us tonight.
We have 4 amazing organizations with us here tonight, and they're all very different. So be sure to visit all of their breakout rooms and talk to them about their volunteer opportunities. You're going to hear from Creative on Purpose, Root Causes Fresh Produce Program, the Salvation Army of Durham, Orange, and Person counties, and the U.S. Committee for Refugees and Immigrants. So to kick us off, I'm going to let Creative on Purpose take this virtual stage, and Kashinda and Portia will share more about what they do and a brief bit about their volunteer opportunities, which you can learn a lot more about in the breakout rooms. Take it away, ladies.
Well, good evening, everyone. I am Kashinda Marche. I am the founder and executive director for Creative on Purpose. Our mission basically is to provide positive reinforcement to women and girls in underserved and overlooked communities. We work to strengthen their mindsets towards becoming better versions of themselves. And we do this in a variety of ways, workshops, panel discussions, one-on-ones, peer-to-peer support, and whatever it is that they are in need of in order to help build that self-esteem. We have 4 core values that we go by, which is self-love, self-belief, self-respect, and self-care. And I'll turn it over to Portia.
Hi, everybody. My name is Portia Matthews. I am the HR specialist and volunteer coordinator with Creative on Purpose. I'm so happy to meet all of you. Thank you, Activate Good, for having us today. So we are currently looking for a few volunteers for a few different positions. One of them being the program team assistant to assist with planning, implementation, and facilitation of programs and activities. So if you may have a background in education, training, development, that might be, a good opportunity for you. We're also looking for a fundraising team assistant to assist with fundraising. We are a fairly new organization. We're looking to hit the ground running, and we know that fundraising is extremely, extremely important. So if you have a background in fundraising, marketing, things like that, that might be a good avenue for you as well. And then lastly, but not least, we are looking for a special events team assistant. Now, right now we have one event already planned for July 10th in Raleigh, North Carolina, a mental health awareness event. We're looking for an assistant to assist with that, but we are planning to have additional events as time goes on. So if you may not be able to do an event as soon as July, we will have other events where we would need some assistance with, setting up, cleaning up, directing guests, things of that nature. So if you feel like any of these positions would be a good fit for you, or if you want to learn more information about either of them, please join us in the breakout room, and I will certainly give you any additional information that would help you make a determination as to if any of the opportunities would be a good fit for you.
Thank you for what you do and those awesome 4 pillars you mentioned. We appreciate you guys more than you know.
Thank you.
All right, we
Thank
will let Root Causes share a bit about what they do and their wonderful fresh produce program and the volunteer needs associated with that. With us tonight, we actually have Willis Wong, who is the president. Kaylee is not here with us, so disregard that name you see on the screen. We didn't get a chance to update that slide. Sorry about that, Willis, but I'm going to let you take the floor.
Thanks so much, Rose. And thank you again to Activate Good, Rose, Amber, everyone else for letting us be here today. We're very excited. My name's Willis. I'm, as Rose said, the co-president of Root Causes Fresh Produce Program, which is a medical student-run program out of Duke University. I myself am a medical student and a business student here at Duke. And to explain a little bit about our core mission is to combat food insecurity by serving people who have low income and food insecurity in Durham with access to fresh and healthy produce. To explain where that comes from, it really came from a place of our medical student experience. We're here at a wonderful university with excellent medical training, hundreds of thousands of dollars of training, and yet what we realized as we talk to patients and as we work with them, what really matters to their health are the social determinants of health, and these things are like food security, housing security, transportation access to health insurance. And because of that, we have partnered with Duke Health and Lincoln Community Health Center to create this program where we link patients who express that they have food insecurity to our providers to freshly sourced fruits and vegetables from Duke Campus Farm and other food partners that we have locally. So we have a couple of volunteer opportunities available, and we really would love your help with. These include confirmation callers, distribution day packers, and delivery drivers. The way that our program works is that we source fresh produce from our partners, which are delivered to the doorsteps of our patients' homes. Many of these patients have lack of transportation, live in remote locations, or just don't have the physical ability to get themselves to an area where they have access to fresh produce. So our confirmation calls are super important to help us build these relationships with our low-income patients and really engage them in their needs. In addition to food, we also have the capacity to serve them additional supplies such as masks, household cleaning supplies, feminine hygiene products. And these confirmation calls really are our frontline workers, help us engage them in their needs and understand what we need to do to pivot our system to serve them the best. Distribution day packers will help us at our distribution site on Saturdays between 8 and 12 o'clock. These folks really help us pack these bags into organized boxes for our patients. And then lastly, but not least, our delivery drivers who get to go out to the homes of our patients, engage them in the doorsteps, really talk to them and deliver these boxes to them for their health. So thank you again for your time. We'd love to see you at the breakout room.
Thank you, Willis, and to your organization for making sure that everyone has access to the food that they need and that it's healthy. So appreciate what you do. All right, with us, we also have Brooklyn with the Salvation Army of Durham, Orange, and Person counties, and I will let her share more about their current volunteer opportunities with you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brooklyn Pearson, and I am the Public Relations and Volunteer Director at the Salvation Army of Durham, Orange, and Person counties. And I will go ahead and say there's also, so every county, for the most part, does have a Salvation Army. So if you're in Raleigh, do not hesitate to reach out to your local Salvation Army. You're welcome to come and volunteer with us as well, but there are Salvation Armies all over the place. So don't let the distance be, a distraction or an issue, because there are local Salvation Armies. But our mission is to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ and to meet human needs without discrimination. And so we also, one unique thing about our Salvation Army in Durham is that we have a Boys and Girls Club as well, which is where a lot of our volunteer opportunities come from. And so if we go to the next slide, I can briefly kind of explain them, and I'll go more in depth in my breakout room. But we have a Free Food Friday as part of our social services program. Excuse my dog, she's in the background. But and basically every Friday we offer free groceries to those in need in the community, and it's a really great program. And it's kind of funny because I've been able to say since I started working at the Salvation Army a couple of weeks ago that Friday is my favorite day to come to work, just because it's a great community that comes out, and I am seeing the same people. We have vendors, we have good music, and I think the volunteers really enjoy it too. We have some loyal volunteers that have come for years, and they have just kind of taken me under their wing since I started, and it's just a really great event. And then we also have Power Hour tutoring during the school year, and that is the one that we're going to offer as a virtual as well. Right now we're working with some NC State students, and so we're able to allow that to be virtual. Excuse me, oh sorry. And so that's from 3:30 to 4:30 Monday through Thursday. And if you are interested in doing that, I can definitely talk to you about how we can get that to be virtual as well. And then with our summer camp that's coming up, it starts, I believe, June 14th. Yeah, June 14th to August 6th. And that's one of our biggest needs right now, because we have students coming in every day from 7:30 a.m. to 5:30. So we definitely need volunteers for that. And then we have a few events coming up, one of them being a Bull City College prep rally, where we're going to have different vendors coming across, just trying to get students, specifically minority students who have may not thought about their futures, get excited for college and the different opportunities there. So we'll need some hands for that event, as well as we have our annual back to school drive, where we fill backpacks full of supplies for the students, and we're doing that at Eastway Elementary, and that'll be on August 14th. So join my breakout room and I can tell you guys more.
Those are certainly some great fun opportunities. Thank you, Brooklyn, and many thanks to your dog for brightening our day. We all needed that today. Alrighty, next we have Addie Kirkland with the U.S. Committee for Refugees and Immigrants. Her colleague Twee is not here this evening, so I'll let Addie take it away.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Addie, and I serve as a case manager and also work with volunteers and do community outreach with USCRI. We're a resettlement agency in Raleigh, so we resettle refugees from all over the world. And we're really excited because this summer we're already receiving people finally coming in. If you have more questions about how that process works, you're welcome to come to the breakout room as well. But we serve refugees and immigrants. So of course we have legal services for everyone, as well as we have unaccompanied minors case management, so kids coming from the border. We have refugee case management, so people who have more medical needs and that kind of thing coming in. But if you want to be a mentor or that kind of thing, this is your place to be. We're really a holistic kind of approach to supporting our community when they come in. And we love to see when our native born Americans or people who used to be immigrants or from immigrant families want to volunteer with our clients and help them along their way to learn about the United States and make new friends here, because that's what we really want to offer our volunteers and offer our clients. Go ahead to the next slide, please. So right now we're looking for experienced ESL instructors. Just not necessarily having gotten your certificate, that is helpful, but someone who's done that before for a client. All of these opportunities here you see are virtual and remote. So they might be by Zoom, they might be on other different platforms, just depending on what you're comfortable with. We also use WhatsApp for our ESL classes, as well as Zoom. And our clients are at different levels. So we would pair you with certain people that are in, say, a beginner class or an intermediate class, and they might have different languages, but they're all at the same level. And we provide you with curriculum so you can teach them. And it's really fun to get to learn about the students and talk about their families and different things and see how their English is improving throughout time, as well as tutors. I would say about 80% of our kids are going to summer school. They're really, really excited about it. Our kids love school, so they're so excited to go to summer school. But they might need some tutoring along the way. We also have some adults that are, recertifying, having to go to Wake Tech or restart at NC State on some of their programs and need a little bit of additional support. They do speak some English, but need some extra tutoring, say in accounting or English comprehension classes when they get to Wake Tech in universities. And that's all remote as well. And of course, translators. Unfortunately, the only language we have covered is English and Spanish, so we're good on those. But if you speak Swahili or Persian, Dari, Farsi, Urdu, many other languages, please join our breakout groups for any of these opportunities. And if you're just interested in refugees and immigrants, we can talk more about your interest levels.
Wonderful. Thank you, Addie, so much for sharing about your awesome organization and those volunteer needs. I'm sure folks are looking forward to hearing more about them in the breakout rooms. So it's time for us to launch into those. In order to do that, you will see a little button with 4 squares at the bottom of your screen. Once the breakout rooms are open by Amber, you will be able to click that button and choose which breakout room you want to visit. Every 8 minutes or so, we're going to rotate or ask you to rotate and try out a different room and learn more from others, just so you get a chance to kind of bounce around and our community partner friends are not rehashing themselves repeatedly. So feel free to jump in every 8 minutes. We will set a timer and post in the chat when it's time to cuss which rooms. If you want to stay in that room, you're welcome to do that too. If you need to be directed to a room and have us manually move you because you cannot access that button, we're happy to do that too. So just stay in the main room and our Activate Good crew will move you around, and we will be here in this room throughout if you need any assistance. And if there are any questions as we go, please drop those in the chat. And Amber, do we have the breakout rooms ready to go?
I will open those in just a moment, but just as a refresher, I believe the organizations talked a little bit about where their opportunities are. I saw that I think every one of them has a remote option. If that's not true, speak up now. But then I think I saw that Creative on Purpose had events in Raleigh. And then Root Causes, is that focused just in Durham?
Yes, it's primarily in Durham right now.
Primarily in Durham right now. And then the Salvation Army of Durham Orange in Person is Durham Orange in Person. And then USCRI, is that all over the triangle?
Raleigh.
Raleigh specifically, my apologies. Okay, so we have that covered. I am now going to open the breakout rooms. If you cannot see the little icon that Rose mentioned, or if you have a challenge, just stick around in the room and we will help you out. Give me just one moment to get these open. And the rooms are now open. If I could ask our community partners to make it to your rooms promptly so that you can greet your guests, that would be wonderful. Natalie, if you want to stop sharing the screen just for a second here.